Welcome back yet again to another Dark Souls 3 boss fight highlight video with me, Master Kiz. Now this is going to be the third Lord of Cinder that I have fought, and it is Yhorm the Giant. You can see there I'm looking at a specific weapon because I was trying to work out how to actually beat this guy. Now the first time I went in and fought him, I immediately noticed there was an item to the right hand side of his throne, so I walked up and picked up that item straight away. Didn't even look at what it was, I just thought it was whatever. And I picked it up, and then I just went to the guy's legs and thought I'll just dive roll and chop chop chop, and it does no damage at all. Like you would be there for a very, very long time if you were just using your standard weapons trying to defeat this guy, because it does a minuscule amount of damage. Now, what I did was, sometimes in circumstances where if there's something I can't work out with a particular boss fight, what I do in a lot of cases is before I look up information on it or anything like that, I'll actually drop my own summon sign outside the door, and I'll get summoned into a fight, and I'll see whether I can pick up any clues while fighting with somebody else. So sometimes people have run through it so they know what to do. Other times you'll just notice something, you'll be like, that's interesting. Now the first time I got summoned, two dudes that were just like me ran in and just started chopping him in the legs, and I was like, well, maybe it's just a really, really long fight. You can see the damage there it does when you're just chopping him in the legs. It does nothing. And in my head I was thinking, well, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just crazy. I mean, it's Dark Souls. Game's crazy. So I thought maybe that's what I got to do. And then those dudes got wrecked, and the summon was over, and I was like, oh, okay, didn't really learn much there. And you'll see that big hit there. Now that's what I learned in the next summon. I dropped my sign again, I got summoned in, and the guy immediately had this sword that was making this crazy noise, and I was like, what is that sword, man? And I was trying to look at it, and I was looking at the sword, and I'm thinking, what is he using? And then I started thinking, is it a buff? Maybe it's a spell or something. Maybe the dude just has some overpowered thing. Like, I don't know what it is. And then I saw him start hitting the boss with it, and I was like, are you kidding me right now with this damage? And you know, we ended up beating it. It was basically that dude ended up beating it because he was the only one using this sword that I'm using now. We were just even trying to hack the dude's legs and it was doing nothing. But this one dude pretty much well soloed it. He was the other summon. And I thought, okay, let me look through the menu and see whether I can see what the item was. And I saw that this was actually the item I picked up, and I read the description, and it's basically like a giant slayer sword. So what it has is it has a buff where if you hold down, I think it's the left trigger. It took me a while to work out how to do it. I kept just swinging at him instead of doing the big attack. But it's like, I think it's hold down left trigger and then push. It's either R1 or right trigger. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. But it casts this big blast wave at him, and it just absolutely KOs him. It's pretty useless against any other giants, I want to say. There is another giant I found in the game, and I took it to him and tried to chop him with it. Didn't work. So I think it's like a thing that's really only useful probably against this guy in this boss fight. You can upgrade it, though. It looks like you can actually upgrade this sword, so maybe you'll need to upgrade it for New Game Plus or whatever. But you see there the buff. It's like a charge attack, and all the messages outside the door before I first went in said try charging, try charging, try charging, and I thought they meant run at him and just chop him. So I just kept running in and trying to chop his legs, but that just didn't work. So I was glad that I actually did drop my sign and see that this damage was happening with this particular weapon, and then check my inventory, and of course I had it because it's in his arena. But there we are, Yhorm the Giant chopped. There's my new emote. It's the best emote that's ever been introduced into Dark Souls. The stretch out, of course, alongside Praise the Sun. But yeah, that emote is fantastic. Now this bit is a little controversial as far as what happens. It kind of drops you from this boss fight directly into another one, and I want to say for the majority of people that went in and played blind, or even everyone that went in and played blind, they would not be ready for this, because I'd say they would have used at least a few Estus in fighting Yhorm, and they also would have had that sword equipped. So you're really not ready for what happens here. But what I'll do is I'll show you the cutscene, and you can actually watch that, and you can see what happens. I'll be quiet so you can hear the dialogue.
Prince Lothric is in your hands. Please save his soul. Tell him what he must be, a lord.
Alright, so now I was like, okay, let me just walk up and see what this statue is. Bang, triggered another cutscene. Had no idea it was going to do that. And this actually triggers a boss fight. So, like I said, it really just drops you into the deep end. And there's not much you can do about it. Now, you won't see this boss fight this video. That's a video for tomorrow. But I hope you enjoyed this one. I thought I'd let this cutscene run so you can see the introduction and know what I'm fighting. So this is what I'll be fighting tomorrow. Thanks for all the support on the Dark Souls 3 vids. I do appreciate it. And until the next video, we'll see you later.